Hello everyone, and welcome back to another watch repair video. My name is Hector, and today on the bench we have 10 watches, but something in common among all of these watches is that all of them are quartz. So all of them have battery, and today I'm going to show you how to replace batteries in quartz movement. But before we do that, let me explain briefly what might happen if we do not replace a battery in a quartz movement that stops working. I want you to take a look at this picture really quick. So this picture shows us what happens when we do not replace a battery on a quartz movement after it stops working. It basically drains, it leaks, and it messes all sort of components. There is no solution for a watch like this besides replacing the entire movement. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this Seiko watch. So this is a special edition because this is the Barcelona. I don't know if you know the biggest rivalry between the Barcelona and Real Madrid soccer teams in Spain. So this special edition for the Barcelona. We're gonna just start working here. I'm gonna show you step by step what we should do when we want to replace a battery. And replacing batteries is something very easy, not that complicated to do. So we're gonna actually disassemble the clamps to make some room to work on the watch, and I'm using the spring bar tool to get the spring bar out, and in that way just make some room. Let's take a look at the back. Beautiful. It has the Barcelona insignia on it. Barcelona and El Real Madrid. Alright, so now we're gonna take a piece of plywood and we wanna clean all the DNA out of this case. Otherwise, when we unscrew the back, all that dirt and dust, it's gonna, go in, and that's the last thing want to happen, getting dust and dirt inside the movement, because that's going to mess all kind of components inside. So clean that, and then if you have a puffer, it would be ideal. So just puffing, blowing some air to get rid of that dust and dirt. Make the surface as clean as possible. Having a clean environment when we're working on watches is crucial. Alright, so I'm using my finger cuts to actually unscrew the back. I find that the finger cuts are excellent, but I also have a tool to unscrew the backs, and you're gonna see it just in a few minutes because I'm gonna use it to tighten and screw the back in. Alright, so let's open it and let's see what we can find. I'm going to show you different battery settings because not all quartz movements have the same setting when mounting batteries. So let's take the back out, and there we go. We have battery right there. You can see the round piece, and it's actually held in place by a clip or a spring that is built in the metal plate. So I'm going to put the back on my container, put the dust cover on, and now we're gonna deal with the battery itself. Okay, so you're gonna use a pair of tweezers, and in this kind of setting what you want to do, it's actually, I'm gonna show you, you're gonna get your tweezers, you're gonna hold this spring right here, and you're gonna pull it, and it's gonna snap out of place, and the battery is gonna jump a little bit. And now we're gonna use a pair of plastic tweezers. You want to use plastic tweezers to get batteries in and out. So get the battery out. Why plastic tweezers? Because if we use metal tweezers, we're gonna short the battery out, and that's the last thing gonna happen. Of course, this one that I'm taking, it's completely drained, so there is no power on it. There is no, electricity or any voltage or currents on it. So it's okay if you take it out. You're gonna actually see me eventually taking it out with metal tweezers, but you won't wanna use metal tweezer when replacing the new battery inside the movement. So you're gonna use this kind of movements. I mean, I like the Maxwell ones, Japanese movements. Batteries. Sorry, Japanese batteries. So in this case, it's the SR936SW. The 394 is another number. You want to replace it with exactly the same battery, the same number. You don't want to use any other battery because batteries are designed with a specific current for the movement. Some movement drains more currents than others. So I'm opening it in here. It's okay to open this with your metal tweezers, but do never use your metal tweezers to hold a new battery because that's going to short it out and that's going to drain a huge amount of power out of the battery, and that's going to shorten the life of the battery dramatically. So plastic tweezers from now on. There, okay, handling no batteries, always plastic tweezers. Okay, there we go. So we put it in place. The same way we took it out, we're gonna replace it there, and now the only thing we gotta do is push the spring down, and that's going to click in place. You're gonna hear a click sound. It just clicks in place. And there we go. Already. And now we're gonna make sure the watch is working. So there, the chronometer just starts working there beautifully. The second hand on the 6th position is working as well. So there's a movement that you gotta read the label on the back, because when you unscrew the back, sometimes there is a label. You gotta read it because sometimes it says that you have to short AC and positive. So you gotta find the AC. It's a spot there, and you will be able to see it. And then you have to short it out with the positive of the battery to get the actual movement running again and work properly. Otherwise it won't work properly. Okay, you can use a piece of Rodico to clean the surface of the actual case, and then what we're gonna do here is take the old gasket out, throw it away, and replace it with a new gasket. So we wanna make sure we have new gaskets, especially because this watch is water resistant. So if we wanna guarantee our work, we better replace the gasket. And also we should use a silicone grease. Silicone grease is basically used to keep the gasket, like, to prevent the gasket from drying out, to keep it soft, lubricated, and that way it won't dry out and it won't crack. So now we use our tweezers to put it back on the case. Actually on the back lid, not on the case. There are some other watches you gotta put the gasket on the case itself and not on the back lid. This time it goes on the back. So we put the back in. I'm gonna screw it down using my finger cuts. I'm using it like if they were a rubber ball. Okay, so let's do a quick inspection. The second hand on the 6th position is working, and the chronometer is working as well. Now, this is the tool I was talking to you like a couple minutes ago. We use it to open and close this kind of bags. Alright, so we have to make sure we adjust it to the right size and position, and then we're gonna do a firm turn, but don't go crazy here. Don't go crazy, because if that wrench slips, then we're gonna end up with a massive and huge scratch on the back, and that's gonna be an ugly scratch. Alright, okay, so it's working beautifully right there already. So the only thing we have left is to replace, not replace, just to put the clasps together using the same spring bar and the spring bar tool. Let me show you the spring bar tool. Okay, this one. Alrighty. So it has like a little notch there that you're gonna use to push the spring bar in. Okay, there we go. Come on, buddy. You gotta go in. Oh, no. It doesn't want to go in. Come on. Let's go in there. Let's go in there because you belong in there. So, come on. It's giving me a little bit of trouble here. But okay, just snaps in place. Okay, beautifully. Already. So let's take a final look. Closing the clasp. Final inspection. Second hand is working. Okay, so let's put that aside and let's go with another watch, another movement. This time I'm going to speed up the process. I just want to show you the movement itself and the battery setting, because not all battery settings are the same thing. In this case, we're working with a snap in place back, so it's not a screw down back. So we have to use a watchmaker knife to snap it out. I always use plastic film when doing this because it prevents scratches. Okay, there we go. So let's do a quick inspection on this movement. Okay, taking it out. All right, now this time the movement is a lot smaller and it's held in place by a plastic holder. So we gotta get that plastic holder out because that plastic holder is also holding the battery in place as well. So we do not want to get just a pair of tweezers and yank that plastic out of the watch, because in doing so what we're gonna do, it's basically we're gonna pull the movement with the plastic holder, and we can detach it from the dial and detach the hands. We can braid the stem. We can create all sorts of trouble and problems and issues. So use something like wood or plastic. In this case, I'm using a piece of pegwood to hold the movement down. I'm gonna show you here. So I just hold it down, get the tweezers, and just lift the plastic holder like this. Okay, so this is a new battery setting. It's not like the previous one. So on this one, to get the battery safely out, we have to push on a particular spot. So this also has a spring built in, but it's tinier. So there is super tiny. So we have to push right here, and it's actually going to make the battery jump a little bit so we can get it with our tweezers. Okay. So the battery needs to come out now. It should come out. It has to come out. Come on, battery. You were not born there, so you need to go out. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, great. Remember that you should always inspect the battery, inspect if the battery leaked, and if there is all sort of, messes around it. Also, look at the battery number, because you need to replace it with the exact same new battery. Do not try to fit a battery that is not, it doesn't have the right number. So this one is a SR626SW. Again, we're using our metal tweezers just to open it, not to get the battery. Just to open it. Another good thing here is that we can see the date printed on the back of the battery case or container or paper. Okay, so there we go. Now we're gonna switch to our plastic tweezers. Get it? And we're gonna replace it exactly the same way we took it out. So we're gonna put it in angle, like I'm gonna show you. So we gotta put in angle like this. Okay, we're gonna hold it, we're gonna push it down with one hand, and with the other hand we're gonna push the spring, and the battery should go in. Like this. With the pegwood, I'm pushing on the spring, and with the plastic tweezers, I'm trying to push the battery in place. It should go in there. Come on, and there we go. And you can see the spring that is now holding the battery in place. And we're gonna take a look and see if it actually is working again. Taking a look really quick. There we go, second hand's moving. Yes, beautifully moving again. Already. So next thing, just putting back the plastic holder there. Okay. This one was super easy. Old battery. Already, so now we're gonna get the gasket and we're gonna put it, this time it goes on the back lid again. And we're gonna replace the back, use a piece of Rodico to clean the crystal. It was a little bit dirty. And now finally we're gonna put the clamps together and the job is done. It's as simple as this. So there is no big mystery. There are some other cases where you replace the battery and the watch doesn't work with the new battery. On those cases, then it's something more serious. So you probably have to take it to a watchmaker because they have to do inspection on the actual quartz piece itself. And they also have to use special tool to see if the movement is dragging more current than what it is supposed to do. So, but for the vast majority of watches, just replacing the battery like this, it's enough. Okay, so this is a Bulova, and we have another setting here. I'm gonna show you this time how it works. So again, when taking the plastic holders out, always hold the movement in place. Do not yank that plastic out because you're gonna break some stuff. I will break some stuff if I just simply yank that plastic holder out of the watch. So plywood is your best friend here. Don't use like metal tweezers to hold the movement. Use something that is plastic or plywood. And then with the tweezers, you can take the plastic holder. There we go. This one was super tight. Okay, so this time the battery setting is something different. I don't know if you can see this, but there is a gap between the battery and the gray plastic area. So you gotta take your tweezers and just introduce your tweezers in between the battery and the gray plastic, like I'm doing here with a plywood, and just pry it out. Okay, there's also a little metal here that is little piece here that is holding the battery. So with the twister, you're gonna actually move that to the side, and then just pry it out, pry the battery out. Okay, so I'm switching to my metal tweezers. Again, I made sure all these batteries were completely drained out. So there is no risk of shorting any battery here. So moving that, and then with the tweezers, I can pry it out like this, take it out. And there we go. Do a quick inspection of the battery, make sure I have the correct battery to be replaced. Alright, this is an LR something. So we're gonna look under the loop and then, okay, there we go, and then use the right one. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to place this one. Super easy, one of the easiest one. You get it with your plastic tweezers. You're gonna put it on the movement, and the only thing you gotta do here is push down. That's it. That's literally what it takes. Nothing else. There is no big mystery. You don't have to move anything here. It's just a super quick fix. You put in angle like this, you take the back of your plastic tweezers and you just push in there, and it's gonna go super easy. It won't give you any resistance, any trouble at all. So let's take a look. Hopefully it's working. All right, let's focus. Okay, second hand starts working beautifully. All right, very simple work. So Next, you know it, replace the plastic holder, clean the bag, put the gasket, properly lubricated, screw the bag down, using the wrench to tighten it. Okay, putting the clamps together, and there we go, easy. Another one. Oh, I love this one. Only the brave. These are the diesel ones. On the back it says only the brave, and it shows you like a weird face right there. Okay, but the process and procedure is exactly the same thing. The procedures are exactly the same thing. Now, on this one, is a little, the plastic holder just covers the movement almost entirely, which is, I find this excellent because it prevents dust and dirt from finding its way inside the movement. But you can also see like a tiny gap, a tiny opening that allows you to hold the movement down while retrieving, while taking the plastic holder out. So you want to still hold the movement down. You don't want to yank that plastic out of the case and dragging the movement, detaching it from the dial, breaking the stem, folding and bending and breaking the hands. So hold the movement, and then there you go. You take the plastic holder with your tweezers. Look, super tiny. Now this is another complete different battery setting. This time it is held in place by a piece of metal and a screw. So it's like a nail that is like a metal nail that is holding the battery in place. I'm gonna show you in just a second. Okay, let me, sorry, I went out of camera. Okay, there we go. All right. So as you can see, we have this piece of metal that is holding the battery in place. So if we don't take that out, we won't be able to take the battery without breaking anything. So with the appropriate screwdriver, we're just gonna do a 90-degree turn. We don't have to unscrew the entire thing. There's a 90-degree turn, and then we will be able to move that piece away. There we go, easy. Now take the battery out, and then you're gonna replace it with the new battery, and that's it. Very simple. Remember, there are some cases where on the back of the watch you will see something like when replacing batteries, short, AC, and positive. So that needs to be done with a metal pair of tweezers, otherwise it won't work. In this case we don't have to do that, it's just simply replacing battery and it should work. Okay, so putting the battery there, holding, let's try to hold it down with the tweezers, and then with the other hand we're gonna move the metal piece that is holding the holder, the battery holder, and using the screwdriver, use a 90-degree turn, and that's gonna just stay in place. Super quick and easy. So literally anybody could do this. Maybe most people. I'm not gonna say anybody because I know that some people don't like miniature and little things, but for most people this is something that most people can do, honestly. Also, when dealing with watches, do not forget your finger cuts. Finger cuts important because our hands are covered with acid and oil, and you won't believe me. I know that you can't see that from here, but most of this movement have fingerprints. So basically means that the previous person replacing batteries did the job without using finger cuts, and then left all sort of fingerprints on the movement, and that's not good because that oil, that acid will find its way inside the movement, messing up all sort of components. So this is another diesel, only the brave. I love that logo, and motto is more like a motto, only the brave. So this one is just held in place, the bag is held in place by 4 screws, so we have to unscrew them, take them out, but that's all. Very simple. And we take it like this, boom, out. Okay, so this is another snap in place battery. No big mysteries here. You're gonna see a little gap. I'm gonna zoom it in. This battery is basically just held in place. The only thing you gotta do is just push the battery in, and to take it out, just you see the gap between the battery and the metal piece there, you just pry it out like this, and the battery comes out easily. Boom, it's out. So you don't have to unscrew anything, or you don't have to push on a spring or anything. Okay, so getting the new battery. All right, there we go. I'm switching to my plastic tweezers. One more time, it's very important that I make emphasis on this. Do not use metal tweezers to hold new batteries. You are going to short them out and drain a huge amount of current and voltage and shorten the life of the battery dramatically. So emphasizing this is very important, because people forget and they just at home replacing battery is very simple, and indeed it's very simple. Replacing a watch battery is not a big mystery, and some people might take just simply like any tweezers, asking the wife, hey, can I use one of your tweezers to get the battery and put it in place, and doing so basically we can short them out, and then the watch just last for maybe a couple months, and it's because we short the battery out. Okay, replacing the screws, only the brave, no one else. Already. So there we go, second hand is ticking again. Easy. Now I want to show you here, this is an Invicta watch, and I want to show you this quartz movement, guys. This is a very, I can say that it's a high quality quartz movement. A lot of people think that quartz movement worth nothing, but look at this one. This one actually has jewels. You won't find jewels in most quartz movements. It's very rare, but this is a high quality quartz movement. Basically, if it has jewels, it is because the wheels in the train of wheels are made out of metal, because in most quartz movements the train of wheels and any wheels, almost any wheels, is just are made out of plastic. And I understand, because in the quartz movement you don't have that huge torque you will find in a mechanical movement due to the mainspring exerting a huge amount of force against the train of wheel. We don't have that here because the main source of power is the battery. It's just voltage and current, nothing else. So it's not like a physical force against those wheels. So I understand that people in quartz movement, the industry and the factories, they just use plastics a lot cheaper and they save a lot of money. But when you see jewels in a quartz movement, oh, you bet that movement is a quality movement. All right, this is another one, and same procedure here. This is another Invicta, and this Invicta, actually the battery setting is very similar to the very first watch we service in the beginning. So it's just a spring that is holding the battery in place. Just pull and detach it. There we go. All right, and then use your plastic tweezers or your metal tweezers if you're sure the battery is completely drained out. It's safer to use plastic tweezers always when handling batteries. So let's put it like that. Unless you are 100% sure the battery is completely drained out, you should use plastic tweezers. Also, all these components are electronics, and it has a microcontroller inside that you can mess out if short things out, So get your plastic tweezers to replace the new battery, just put it in there. And you're gonna use the back of your tweezer to push in. You're gonna hear the click sound, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So replacing the plastic holder, there we go, the gasket, properly lubricated the back, screwing the back together, and there we go. Easy fix. Alright, and going back to the topic, what happened when we replace battery and the watch doesn't work? So again, probably you have to take it to a watchmaker, or usually store for get someone to get it checked, because it could be all sorts of things. Okay, so we have all these watches already running. So we replace the battery in all these beauties. All of them are probably running. Great. So hopefully guys, this video helps you maybe fixing your own quartz movement by replacing the batteries yourself. And if you like the video, please give us a thumb up, subscribe, share so more people can find us, and hope to see you all on the next one.